This video is to cover how to import contacts, units, and tenants within the RentPost system. When you first log in, you'll be shown the home screen here. What you'll want to do is navigate over to the top right side and select Settings, and then go down to the right, and where it says Importing and Exporting, select that, and then you'll be brought over here to these links. And so what I'll show first is the Google Contacts piece. It's Google Contacts, so what you would do is you'd hit Start Importing your Google Contacts, and then you log into your Gmail here and then retrieve contacts, and notice that 2 seconds per 50 contacts here. So just be aware of that. And then what we're going to take a look at as well on this screen is first looking at the units and tenants. So what you do is you'd select Download Units and Tenants Template. Go ahead and click it. It'll probably show up down here, and I'll go ahead and retrieve that document. Okay, so once that's downloaded, it'll look pretty much like any other Excel document, but what you'll be able to look at here on the top left is what is required initially is address 1. See the little star asterisk here, and just put in that first bit of the address, and then if you have a suite or a room number, put that in address 2. That's not required. Obviously some don't have that. So next would be the city, state, both required. Postal code is required. Country is not required. Bedroom, bath, and you would do 1.5 or 0.5 if it's a half bath. And then square footage, that's not required. Unit group, now this is up to you how you would want to categorize this, and this is something that you probably want to discuss with your team whenever you are deciding what you want to name your unit groups. But you can go ahead, if it is within one building, if it's within a certain area of town, you can select and create a unit group specifically for units that are related. So however you want to relate it is fine. But just make sure that it's consistent all the way across so that you don't create multiple groups and have issues with them not sorting correctly. And desired rent is not required, but you can put it in right here. Owner's first name, owner's last name, owner's email address. If you are getting set up for the online owner portal for these guys, that would be very important to have so that they have access to that, and you can let them know that they can log into their portal now. Unit type, multifamily, commercial, single family. We have many others, and that's actually an option here. If you click this, you can see the different types here on that second tab. Emergency contact phone number, operating account number. This is you're going to want this to be 1101. And then also the escrow account number. Both of those need to be 1101, and they are required. Okay, so now you're looking at the tenants. First name, last name, both are required. Email, it's not required, but if you're doing online rent collection, you definitely want to have that entered in so that you can go ahead and have them notified by the system so that they can go ahead and start making payments that way and get into their tenant portal. Next is their phone number. It's not required. I would just make sure that these are consistent. If you're going to do it with the brackets or not, just make sure either way, just do it consistently so that you don't have any issues with keying in what those are. Lease start, that is required. And so I would definitely format it this way, 1/114. And you can obviously put in whatever date is relevant to you. And then lease end time, that's not required. You can leave it open-ended and it'll just continue. It depends on what your lease actually is. And then rent due date. This is important for calculation, and you want to make sure that that goes along with what your lease actually is as well. That is required. Rent amount, that's required. Go ahead and put that here. And deposit amount, if there is any associated with that. And then some notes. So as you can see here, tenant has a pit bull and has provided obedience docs. So you can really put any kind of notes you want in there. So that will be tied to that particular tenant. And once you have that filled out for all of your units and tenants and owners, you can go ahead and save this and then send that to relax@rentpost.com. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the other document here for contacts, but I'll show you how to access that one first. So we can get rid of this. Now, same screen, contacts. You just click this to download the template. Down and pull this up too. Okay. So very similar look and feel. Once again, very much like an Excel spreadsheet, really. And contact type, owner, vendor. These are usually the ones that you'll want to put in this way. Now, vendor is anyone that would be working on a property, maybe a maintenance man that's a third party, or maybe they work with you. Either way, you want to go ahead and put that in there. And then there's also other. So it could be just someone who's associated with it. Maybe it's another person that just needs to be in the loop. So first name and last name is required. Company name is not required, but is recommended, especially if they are a vendor. Their email address, if they are a vendor and you want them to be notified of work orders and you can assign that, you would definitely want to put that email address in there. Phone number, I mean, look at this as sort of a little Rolodex or a directory for your contacts. So it's not required to have that phone number, but I would definitely put that in there. Any phone extension, any other phone contact, an extension fax is not required. Once again, when you're formatting this, just try and make it consistent. It's easier for you to not make a mistake whenever you do it consistently. Once again, fax extension, if that's something there. Website, that is actually very handy, especially if for some reason these contacts do not work. If for some reason the phone number is bad now or the email address is not working, you can always go back and you've got that precise email or precise web address, so you can look that up again. Tax ID number, that's handy, especially if you are going to have to fill out some other documentation if you are going ahead and paying these guys. So address, you may want to decide that, let's say you have one maintenance person on one side of town, another maintenance person on another side of town. You may want to be able to see, okay, well, this guy's clearly closer. They're comparable in price and service. Let's go ahead and go with this one. So while it's not required, it is recommended. City, state, postal code, country, and then any notes that you want to associate with that. Could be some hidden fees with some of these maintenance people that you might want to go ahead and make everybody aware of, or a certain way to contact them too. So anyway, once you've filled that out, what we will do is take a look at it. So if you want to go ahead and save it and then email that as well to relax@rentpost.com. We'll go ahead and upload that for you. You don't have to charge. We don't charge you anything for it. So we'll verify everything looks good. Go ahead and import it, and you'll have it up and running usually within 24 to 48 hours, and you'll be good to go. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to send us an email at relax@rentpost.com. You can comment on our YouTube channel or on our Google Plus account, and we'd like to hear from you. Thanks.